Sky Genie Entertainment presents the following. The following is not suitable for children under the age of 18. It contains coarse language, sexual references, as well as my own personal views and opinions. I'd like to thank you for listening to my show. You are listening to the Sky Genie Show, the worst show ever. Hit the music. Hello and welcome to the Sky Genie Show, the worst show ever. We're on episode 47 of the Sky Genie Show, and we are 3 weeks away from episode 50 of the Sky Genie Show, which will be a special live edition of the Sky Genie Show on Mixlr. There we'll have Yuck Nasty from Get in the Corner and Johnny Florida from Wrestling's National Committee. It will be a live 3-hour special. Hopefully, you'll tune in. Now, before we go on with the show, I have an opinion of old people. Yes, old people. In particular, old, sexist women. Now, I want to make this clear. I am all for equality. Gay marriage, I approve of. I mean, why should I really give a shit on what a gay couple, if they want to get married? Not my business, right? Same with women's rights. Men and women should be equal. The issue I do have is one of a place that I work in. Now, I work for a charity organisation, believe it or not. It is work placement because I don't have paid work at the moment. Or if you're in Australia, work for the dole. Granted, you have your things to bitch and moan, but it's a pretty good job overall. I get to work on the register, I get to do deliveries and pickups on the truck. I get to learn all aspects of the shop, pretty much. The issue I had was yesterday as of recording. I was on the register all day and I was by myself and I went to go on a lunch break. Granted, there's about maybe 6 or 7 guys there compared to the women, which is a lot more. Apparently there's 75 employees overall, but either way, I went for lunch. I sat down, maybe 10 minutes, tops. So I was talking with one of the other guys there, just sitting there quietly eating my lunch. Little ladies come up and say, "Oh, you boys should go outside, because all the other boys are out there, because we're just sitting down eating dinner. Well, we want to have lunch." So I said to her, "Well, there's other chairs here, but we don't want to talk your shit, boy shit." I bit my tongue, but I thought, how rude. How rude of this person. I mean, I go to that shop way more than most of the people there. Because when you go there, for us it's work for the dole, or welfare is what it's called here. Under 30, you got to work 25 hours. Over 30, you don't have to work as much. And of course, I'm under 30. So I am there way more than her. I take less breaks than her. She took 50 breaks pretty much yesterday. I took one for 10 minutes. She sat there for half a fucking hour. Now, again, I am all for equality, but people like that, old people like that, should learn to have a little bit of respect for younger people too. Okay, I understand, have respect for your elders. But the issue is, elders don't have respect for young people. Now, granted, not all young people are perfect. Young people are can be lazy. I do in that place where people that are younger, there are lazy people there. But then there are people that actually work. But this bitch decides to put everybody in a category, whether you're male, you do no work, and don't deserve the same privileges that she does. So, to that, I say, fuck you, and fuck your opinion. And to anyone out there experiencing this, take it up with management. If you are dealing with people like that, because that is wrong. And and you see how many older women get away with that. That's a load of crap. To me, equality is everybody. When you're trying to make equality for yourself, that's not equality. That's just a selfish, sexist bitch. Now, granted, there are guys out there who are sexist and pig-headed, but then the same goes for women. Now, I'm sorry for that rant on an entertainment show, but fuck, I'd rather get a word out there of something like that than let bullshit like that continue. You know what I mean? Anywhere. After the break, we'll be back on track with wrestling news and reviews of Raw and Smackdown. After the break. Coming July 15th. It's a special 3-hour edition of the Sky Genie Show. For episode 50, join the Sky Genie, Young Nasty from Get in the Corner, Johnny Florida from Wrestling's National Committe, live on Mixlr, July 15th. For fans of the Sky Genie Show, please also make sure to check out Wrestling Soup. They drop at 9:30 on Thursday. Join hosts Anthony Missionary Thomas and Joey Numbers as they lightheartedly talk about what that's happening in professional wrestling as well as other current events. While over there, please make sure to check out the Saturday morning shitbox. Have your voice and question heard as Mish and Joey answer questions on their thoughts of professional wrestling or anything else going around in the world. That show drops on Saturday morning-ish. The weeks it doesn't air is because they're doing pay-per-view Sunday. Yes, whenever there's a WWE pay-per-view, Mish and Joey usually review it, sometimes with John Draper. They also have shows on Stitcher and iTunes. If you want to catch the boys live, check them out on Mixlr. For fans of the show, please also check out the Don Tony and Kevin Castle show. Don Tony and Kevin Castle show is a hard-hitting, with brutal honesty type show as they give their views on the world of professional wrestling and WWE. They're also on Stitcher and iTunes. If you want to catch them live, listen to them on Mixlr. If you're looking for a very professional show to listen to the Solomonster Sounds off. His show, smokes this one entirely, is a very informative show. Join Jason Solomon as he gives his thoughts on the current events of professional wrestling. Catch his show on Podbean, Stitcher or iTunes. Also check out Jason Solomon's YouTube page where he does extras for pay-per-view shows or interviews with wrestlers in the business. Jason has interviewed the likes of Diamond Dallas Page, Bob Hardcore Holly, the legendary Jim Ross, and even Booker T. Definitely a show worth checking out. Coming July 15th, it's a special 3-hour edition of the Sky Genie Show. For episode 50, join the Sky Genie, Young Nasty from Get in the Corner, Johnny Florida from Wrestling's National Committe, live on Mixlr, July 15th. And we are back, and now it's time for the wrestling news. Mauro Ranallo and WWE have reached an agreement in which Mauro Ranallo would join the NXT broadcasting team. This news comes after reports of tension between JBL and Mauro Ranallo. Mauro has since denied the claims that JBL had anything to do with his departure. I guess $500,000 later. The one thing I got to say about this, I mean, it's a good thing that Mauro is staying, and he is somebody that I really think should be a lot higher than what he is. The fact that they kept JBL after that bullshit, despite that Mauro's denying it, but let's face it, come on. He was paid a settlement, and he's not going to let anything look bad. On WWE's part, they pretty much, you've seen the reports of hush money coming up, so again, this is nothing against Mauro Ranallo, but it is kind of bullshit. He still should be calling Smackdown. Or move Mauro to Raw and bring Michael Cole to Smackdown. Since Michael Cole is looking to do behind the scenes work anyway, I don't see why not. But either way, I think this is good for Mauro Ranallo and WWE. And I'll definitely be paying more attention to NXT. Mr. Pogo of FMW fame sadly passed away at the age of 66. He was undergoing back surgery in his hometown of Guatemala. His death was caused by a cerebral infraction during surgery. Thoughts and prayers go out to the Pogo family. And that is it for the wrestling news. After the break, Raw and SmackDown reviews. Coming July 15th, it's a special 3-hour edition of the Sky Genie Show. For episode 50, join the Sky Genie, Yuck Nasty from Get in the Corner, Johnny Florida Wrestling's National Committe, live on Mixlr, July 15th. If you're looking for links to shows and social media accounts, go to our website at skygenieshow.weebly.com. There you will find links to the show and links to social media pages. Also exclusive to the site, some news and reviews that did not make it to the show. So please check out skygenieshow.weebly.com today. Want to join a fan discussion group? Talk about the show or anything else you'd like to talk about to other fans of the show? Check out on Facebook the Sky Genie Show page. There I give show updates, create polls and topics exclusive to Facebook. So check out the Sky Genie Show page on Facebook today. Are you looking for a good laugh? Then check out Get in the Corner. Get in the Corner. Dark Corner. Dark Corner. With hosts Yuck Nasty and Dogger Baby. Every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. on Mixlr. Check them out on Wednesdays at 9 p.m. on Mixlr. For discussions on wrestling and wrestling soup after parties, check out Wrestling's National Committee with Johnny Florida, Papa Dave and Old Man Jenkins, right on Mixlr. If you'd like to send me a tweet, then on Twitter it's SDD916. Again, on Twitter it's SDD916. The Sky Genie Show is now on Patreon. Go to www.patreon.com/Sky Genie Show. There you'll find exclusive content not shown on YouTube, hosted by the Sky Genie and Tough Love. Your donations through Patreon to the show goes to improve the overall quality of the show. Check us out at patreon.com/Sky Genie Show today. Coming July 15th, it's a special 3-hour edition of the Sky Genie Show. For episode 50, join the Sky Genie, Yuck Nasty from Get in the Corner, Johnny Florida Wrestling's National Committe, live on Mixlr, July 15th. And we are back, and now it's time for the Raw review. Roman Reigns is out to make his SummerSlam announcement. He'll like to tell everybody that he is gay, and is proud of it. Just kidding, he just wants to challenge the winner to the Universal Championship match at SummerSlam. Goes on about how he can't be beat, goes on and on and on. Then Samoa Joe comes out and cuts a promo on Roman Reigns. They go back and forth, rah rah rah. They brawl, Joe runs away, and that's the end of the segment. We have the Hardy Boys versus the Club. In an okay match, your winner were the Hardy Boys. We get a Goldust vignette. It's funny that Vince thinks the Drifter is over when people just don't want him. But the Drifter is out, sings a promo, Finn Balor comes out, they have a face-to-face. The Drifter grabs his guitar, puts it on his shoulder, and walks away. We then have Finn Balor versus Bo Dallas in a nothing match. Your winner is Finn Balor. We have a backstage segment with Kurt Angle and Corey Graves, Enzo, Kaz, The Revival, and Big Show. Seth Rollins is out and dressed as he's on the cover of the WWE 2K18 video game. Cool. Bray Wyatt comes on the screen. They go on and on. Rollins calls out Wyatt. Wyatt comes out to the ring. They brawl, and that was it. We have a backstage segment with Kurt Angle. There's a backstage interview with Finn Balor, and the Drifter attacks Finn Balor. We then get Akira Tozawa versus TJP. After a pretty good match, Akira Tozawa wins. Titus O'Neil comes out, congratulates Tozawa. It announces that he and Apollo Crews will face Sheamus and Cesaro tonight. Titus goes on and on till Neville can't stand it anymore. They all go on, and the segment ends. We then get an R-Truth vignette challenging Goldust to a match. We have a backstage segment with Bo Dallas, Curtis Axel, and The Miz. We then get a backstage interview with Samoa Joe. So then we get to the main event. Roman Reigns versus Samoa Joe. In a really good main event, your winner was Samoa Joe. After the match, Braun Strowman comes out and makes his way to the ring. Grabs the mic and says, "I'm not finished with you." Takes out Roman Reigns, then challenges him to the Great Balls of Fire in an ambulance match. Well, I wish it was the main event. It should have been the main event. It should have ended. But of course, we got another hour, don't we? We get a Miz TV segment, the special guest Maurice. They go on and on. Ambrose comes out, goes to attack The Miz, but Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel come down and beat down Ambrose to end the segment. We have a backstage segment with Kurt Angle and Big Show. We get an announcement that Brock Lesnar will be back next week. Then we get Titus O'Neil and Apollo Crews versus Sheamus and Cesaro. It was a nothing match. It was very boring. Sheamus and Cesaro win. We then get Sasha Banks versus Nia Jax. We've seen it before, we're probably going to see it again. Your winner by DQ, Nia Jax. After the match, Banks and Nia Jax continue to fight. So Bliss gets involved. The rest of the women get involved. It's 10:57 p.m. in the United States apparently. We've still got more to go. Fucking hell. So in the final segment, we have Kurt Angle come out to reveal who it was that attacked Enzo and Kaz. Turned out it was Big Kaz all along. Big Kaz cuts a scathing promo on Enzo, sold it like a champ, gives Enzo a big boot, to end the show. Overall, I would say it was a pretty average show. It went way too fucking long. You could have got rid of the Sasha Banks match. You could have gotten rid of a lot of matches in here. It didn't have to do any. I was watching one of the old Raws. I'll say a few months ago, and I'll even say it now. There's a huge difference between then and now, okay? There was 1 hour, but what they did is they put a certain amount of people on the show. So 1 week, you'll have a heap of mid-card matches, and you'll probably get a match with Bret Hart. The next week, it'll be a feature match with Shawn Michaels or The Undertaker. The trouble with Raw and what it is now, it's still going on the format of the Attitude Era, in which you put everybody on the show. I mean, back then they needed it. They needed to put everybody on the show because they were in a war. But now they are not in a war. They are not in any kind of competition of war of any kind. So what WWE should be doing, which they can't seem to do at the back of their ass, is featuring a star. So if you're going to feature Roman Reigns this week, next week, you're going to focus on Seth Rollins. The week after, you're going to focus on The Miz. The week after, you're going to focus on whoever. Just to spread it out a bit. And one thing I do hate about the brand split is the ability to use other shows to push your agenda. And WWE seem to not know what they want to do in the long run. They don't have a long-term plan. They say they have a long-term plan. So Samoa Joe is possibly meant to lose to Brock Lesnar, but that could change between now and then. But either way, that is my review for Raw. And now it's time for the Smackdown review. The show opens up with the women arguing with Daniel Bryan about the way the women's Money in the Bank ladder match happened. Carmella and James Ellsworth come out to cut a promo. They go on, and the segment ends. We get a backstage segment with Charlotte and Daniel Bryan going over the medical staff of Charlotte's neck. We then get Big E of the New Day versus Jimmy Uso. After a good match, Big E wins. We have a backstage segment with Natalya, Tamina, and Daniel Bryan. There is a backstage interview with Naomi. Lana comes in and wants a rematch for next week. Tom Phillips interviewed Randy Orton in a sit-down interview. Goes on, and says it's not over. Cool. We get Dolph Ziggler versus Shinsuke Nakamura. In an okay match, your winner is Nakamura. We have a backstage segment with Daniel Bryan and Sami Zayn, who books him in a match with Baron Corbin. Becky Lynch comes in and goes on. Kevin Owens comes out and grabs a mic and issues an open challenge. AJ Styles comes out and Owens says he wants a local competitor. And Chad Gable comes out and accepts the challenge. So for the United States Championship, it was Kevin Owens versus Chad Gable. After a really good match, your winner and still champion Kevin Owens. There is a backstage segment with Zack Ryder and Daniel Bryan, who gives them a tag team title shot for next week. Daniel Bryan comes out and makes a decision on the Money in the Bank briefcase for the women. He strips Carmella of the briefcase and books a rematch for the Money in the Bank briefcase for next week, and that James Ellsworth is banned from ringside. We then get Jinder Mahal versus Luke Harper. In an okay main event, your winner is Jinder Mahal. After the match, Baron Corbin comes out and stares down Jinder Mahal. Randy Orton then comes out and RKOs everybody to end the show. And that is the review for Smackdown. I'd like to thank you all for listening to this episode of the Sky Genie Show. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Follow me on my website, skygenieshow.weebly.com. On Facebook, it's the Sky Genie Show page. On Twitter, it's at SDD916. Check us out on Mixlr and on Patreon. Patreon/Sky Genie Show. Thank you all for listening, and I'll catch you later. Coming July 15th, it's a special 3-hour edition of the Sky Genie Show. For episode 50, join the Sky Genie, Yak Nasty from Getting